The Without Fear of Her Future podcast is for women who are passionately pursuing financial freedom through investing in real estate. We are here to empower you to be brave, dream big, and design a life you love. I'm your co-host, Tresa Todd, founder of the Women's Real Estate Investors Network and author of the book, Without Fear of Her Future.
And I'm Melissa Baker, real estate investor and fitness coach specializing in turning properties from drab to fab. I'm here to help motivate and inspire you to build your dream life because, girl, you deserve it. Hello, beautiful. Have you ever walked into your own home and felt instantly exhausted, but you couldn't quite figure out why? Maybe it's this constant low-level stress you can't shake, or maybe you just don't feel as relaxed as you should in your own space. The truth is, your home might be draining you in ways that you don't even realize. Today, we're breaking down the sneaky energy zappers lurking in our space at home, and more importantly, what you can do to reclaim your peace. So, Tresa, let's dive in.
Well, before we dive in, how's your week? What have you been up to?
It's good. You know, this is a big birthday week for me. I've got several friends that have birthdays, and I love birthdays because I love getting to celebrate my friends. So
You're a good celebrator. That's
you know what? It's so fun to give gifts, and I love shopping. So it works out well.
Is it one for you and one for me?
It is. Well, you know, the thing with my friends is that we do like a lot of the same things. So when I find something spectacular that I love, I know they will like it. So we tend to both get something for sure.
I love that.
But then I love wrapping it up and making it all pretty and fun. So so that's a kind of on my to-do list this week and something fun to look forward to. What about you?
I love it. I love it.
What's happening?
Well, you know, I just launched a brand new ministry.
Oh, yeah.
Fellowship on Fire. It's a real live in-person meeting every Thursday night right here in Dallas, Texas. And oh my gosh, that's taking all my time right now.
Good.
But this is something I knew that God had called me to over a year ago and finally doing it. And so I am loving it. Loving it. It's been so much. It's so amazing to see what God is doing.
Well, I'm so glad that you finally launched it.
I am too.
That's awesome.
Okay, well, I know these ladies are here to listen about stressors in their home and what we can do about it.
Yes. Most of us think of stress as an external factor, right? Our work, our finances, our relationships, our spouse, our children.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stress in those things. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about things you can't see, those major stressors in your life that you just can't quite put your finger on. And it's like messy spaces in your home. I mean, it's the subtle, almost invisible things that really can affect your mood and your energy level and our focus, and we don't even realize it.
I agree. You know, my mom taught me, I remember when I got married. Well, before I got married, she always taught me to make my bed. She said, if your room is 70% clean, if you just make the bed.
Isn't that true?
It
Gosh,
is.
Right.
And then what I realized is once you make the bed, then you tend to go ahead and do some extra things. Oh, I'll fold these clothes or, pick this thing up
Because
or
if
that.
the bed's made and clean, you want it cleared off and pretty. Yeah.
And then just think about it. Every time you walk into your room, the bed's made. Versus every time you walk into your bed, it's messy. Same thing. Then when I got married, I remember another thing she taught me was just to do the dishes before you go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Because one of those things that you walk into, if you wake up every morning, what do? The first thing we do is walk into our living room, our kitchen, and if there is a counter full of dishes, automatically, without even realizing, it's that unfinished business. It's that anxiety of, I got to do these dishes at some point today. So my mother was, and I got this from her, I'm a little bit of a clean freak.
Yes, you are.
So
this is true.
But it makes me happy.
Yeah, but clutter's not just an eyesore, clutter triggers stress in our brains, and studies show that when we are surrounded by clutter, our brain is processing it, like you said with the dishes, as unfinished business, which does lead to that anxiety.
Well, it's like having
adds more
25
stress.
browser tabs open at once. It's exhausting. Even if you're not actively thinking about it, it's there.
That's right. Yes. It's just, right now, I'm in the middle of some renovations at my house that I'm living in. And
that's the hardest thing in the world.
It really is, because we're doing one wing of our house, which happens to be our master suite, which is connected kind of off the dining room. So we're doing our dining room, our master bedroom, bathroom, closets, all that. So everything that normally lives in those spaces is actually living in our living room right now.
Woo.
And you talk about feeling clutter.
Yeah.
It really is. And I keep telling myself it's temporary. It's temporary.
It is, and you're so close.
I'm so
You're so
close. We're so close. Yes, to
But I
getting it.
do know that it just makes you feel, because I have heard you over and over, like, I'm so ready for this to be, because it just affects you.
It does. I can't wait till the day that I get to come home to a clean house.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, so that's the whole thing, is just noticing how something makes you feel. Even poor lighting, the wrong color tones. Lighting has a direct impact on your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love natural light.
Yes.
I mean, I have tons of windows. I have no curtains hardly in my house
No,
anywhere
you
except in my
really
bedroom,
don't.
pretty
Yeah.
much, because I just love that natural light. It makes me happy. It makes me feel good. And even in my bedroom, one of the first things I do every single morning when I wake up is I go open up those curtains. I want that sunlight coming in.
Yeah. You know, I noticed the light. So as I said a minute ago, we're redoing our dining room and we have some beautiful, it's not like a bay window with seating, but it's five really tall windows that kind of are a little bit angled. So they make a rounded, thing in our dining room, and they're big and they're beautiful and they look out to the street, and it's nice natural light. And I never realized it because, it's the house that my husband had before we married, and he's got they're really pretty wooden blinds on them that were made for this space, and they're beautiful. But I never really opened them because we weren't using the dining room. And when they took those blinds down to paint the dining room, it made such a difference. And I told my husband, throw them away. I don't care that they're custom made and
Yes.
expensive. I don't want them going back up
That
because,
natural light.
oh my gosh, it made such a difference.
Woo, I get it. I get it. I had a family member that always kept everything dark. They never opened up any of their blinds. And it's almost claustrophobic for me. I just enjoy those open spaces with
Yeah.
natural
Those
bright light.
harsh fluorescent lights, they're just stress headaches. I do know with some of the really bright white ones, I don't like those. They do kind of give me headaches. I have the nice soft white bulbs in my house.
I hear you. And then the cool tone lights, you have to be careful because it can just feel really sterile, cold. So warm tones make a space more inviting. Just
Most
always be
definitely.
thinking about
And how
that.
easy is that to just open some blinds or
Open
switch out
blinds.
some light bulbs? That's so
Yes,
easy.
absolutely. Absolutely.
What are some other things that cause us stress in our home?
Well, I think cramped spaces.
Yeah.
Just trying, too much furniture. Sometimes
Yes.
less is more,
This is
or just
true.
too much stuff. Well, here is a prime example, because I am a little bit of a neat freak, but I'm also a reader, and I have my quiet time, and so and I will have my journal, my Bible, maybe a couple books I'm reading, and so I have all of these things, and they were always stacked somewhere, usually out in my pool house because that's usually where I go. But it would drive me crazy, but it would also be, I didn't want to put it up just to get it back out the next day. Put it
Right.
up to get it. So I found a tray, and I now put all of it on the tray. My pens, my markers, every single thing is on that tray. And then when I'm done, all I have to do is just hide that tray in a cabinet. Then the next morning, I get the tray
ready.
out.
That's
and so
smart.
It's just a simple little thing that makes me feel better. So I think just noticing. I do the same thing at work when I want my office to be clean. And so before I leave, the last thing I'll do is I'll just look around. I'll put everything up, straighten it so that when I walk into my office, there is hardly anything on my desk and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, the space and like we were talking about rearranging furniture and minimal, less furniture. I can remember in my old house, it had a fairly small living room, and I had a pretty big couch with an oversized chair and ottoman, and it filled the space nicely because it was it wasn't a walk through living room. It was on its own, but it really changed the space when I flipped the couch and put it more up against the wall. I didn't put it in the corner, but I just kind of opened it up to where when you walk through, you weren't walking past the back of the couch anymore. It was, kind of the chair, and just rearranging a little bit made that space open up. So I would say play with your furniture and see what
Yes.
feels the best, because it doesn't always have to be about what looks the best. It has to feel right as well,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't get over how a space can make you feel. I mean, you have heard me. You knew me when I lived in this rental that I was in, that I moved into it. I thought it was going to be very temporary. I signed a 6-month
Right.
lease and then ended up having to be there for 3 years. But it's not a place I would have ever chosen. It did not have very many windows at all, especially in the living and dining area.
Yeah.
It literally had one little window in the corner, and I was miserable there the entire 3 years. First of all, it was too cramped because I had a lot of furniture in there. There was not enough lighting, and you, I was, I became so aware of how I felt in that house, and I knew I've got to get out of here. And so I just want to say, if you're listening, sometimes you can be maybe depressed or have this anxiety, and you're trying to figure it out, and it could be as simple as where you're spending all of your time. So take the time to look around and say, "Hey, do I need to get rid of some of this stuff? Do I need some more lighting? What do I need to do to create a space that makes me feel good?"
Yeah. Sometimes some really small changes can make a really big difference.
I agree.
For
I
sure.
agree. And I love smells as well. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
love to light a candle or use the wax, just to feel it
All
with
about the senses.
yes, a wonderful aroma.
So let's talk a little bit about the science behind space
Yeah.
and stressors. Now that we've uncovered some of the silent stressors that probably a lot of you haven't talked about or haven't thought about, certain spaces feel peaceful while others are overwhelming. Why is it? It's not random.
That's true. Yeah. Again, some will make you feel calm and others make you feel drained. But how your brain processes space, our brains are wired to crave order
Yes.
and simplicity. I love that. So, again, if a room is cluttered or chaotic, our brains have to work harder to filter out all the distractions.
Right. That's why the open and airy spaces, they feel so much more peaceful and it's easier for your brain to process that. So let's talk about biophilic spaces.
Okay, I just have to laugh because, to be honest with you, as listeners, when we were talking about this episode, she mentions that word, biophilic design, and I'm like, what in the world is that? I've never even heard that term before. So I Googled it. I Googled biophilic images, and I just want to challenge you to do the same thing. If you're like me and you don't know what that is, just looking at those images, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, so talk
Yes.
to them.
So
Explain that.
biophilic, it's more natural environment. If you ladies, I would really say Google it and look at the images. You will just look at the images and go, oh, it's nature, it's water, it's wood, it's those warm things that greenery. Yes, it just kind of the natural elements can really make a space. Having some indoor greenery can reduce your stress, improve your focus, and just makes your room more inviting.
It says even adding some wooden accents.
Yes, yes. So when we were talking about this, one thing that I pointed out is your home is decorated so beautifully, but your home is also very colorful.
Yes.
Which is great because there's a lot of energy in your house.
Okay, ladies, let's just be honest. I always say that when you walk into my house, it's like a carnival threw up. I mean, it is pink and green and yellow and pink, and I mean, it's all the colors.
Yeah.
So I love that she says it is definitely, it could be a little chaotic in some people's minds.
It could be.
I love it. It makes me happy. It gives me energy. However,
It's a very organized chaos, and it's done beautifully. So I don't want it to make it sound like it's crazy. It's beautiful. But where do you go when you want some peace and quiet for your quiet time with the Lord?
yes,
Where do you
so
go?
I head out to my pool house.
Because
It's biophilic.
that's right.
It's completely like any other room in my house.
Yes,
You
yes.
literally open the pool house doors and it is a completely different feel. It is wood,
Yes.
natural wood, greenery, water. You could hear the
looks out to the
waterfall.
pool.
Yes. And that is where I want to be when it's time to have
So
my
see?
tranquility and quiet time with God.
You
So
had-
it is so true.
You had some biophilic design in your
didn't
house and
even
you
know
didn't
it.
even know
I
it.
had
I
no
love
idea.
that.
So yes.
Now that you understand the science, let's talk about practical changes that we can make today to create a home that really supports us rather than drains us. And ladies, this is so good for me, even with my renovations going on in my
Absolutely.
home. There's
Yeah.
things that I'm really looking forward to changing when I get to move back into the space.
Yes. So I would advise walk through your home and ask yourself, how does this space make me feel? Does it feel peaceful, or is it, does something feel off? Maybe it's a little cluttered in a corner, the bad lighting that we mentioned, or it's just a room that doesn't function well.
Yeah, there's no need to have the wasted space or those ucky feelings, right? So identify a space that stresses you out. now that you're aware of it, I think that the awareness is key, because I think a lot, like I feel some anxiety at home, and I don't know, but I will say that I have in my living room of chaos, because again, several rooms are living in my living room right now. The little square area that we have of our couch, our chair, our coffee table, the television, the fireplace, the area where my husband and I hang out together in our alone time together in the evenings and stuff. I keep it clean and neat, and that's kind of our happy space. Even though everything outside of that square is completely cluttery and chaos right now, that square is kind of where we spend our time, because
I
we
love
can just decompress and be comfortable
because
there.
you may not be in a place where you could just redo your whole
Right.
home. At least find one area, even if it's a corner,
Right.
and fill it with the things that you love that make you feel good. And maybe you need a couple of places. Maybe you do need a space that makes you feel energized.
Yeah.
But you also need that place for downtime, quiet
Right.
time,
Right.
and all.
And instead of just decorating and designing your home to look beautiful, which is important, I think it's just as important that it feels good.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And one of the things that I would want to say is, I love to do is to pray over my house.
Absolutely.
That when people walk into my house, that it is a peaceful place. That people enjoy, because I love to entertain. I love having people come over. And even though I am a neat freak, I want it to be a place where people feel comfortable, and it's a fun environment. But
it is very inviting. And you're not so much of a neat freak that you're walking behind everybody, picking up cups and wiping down spaces. You're letting everybody enjoy the space with you while y'all are in it together, and you don't worry about that until the end. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, I think just kind of praying over it and wanting your home to be a place, especially for your family.
That people feel welcome.
More than anything. If your husband or kids are coming into that home, they need a home that they enjoy coming home to, that they can breathe.
Yeah, and we all need that space to just really unwind and slow down and connect with our families, right? Especially if you've got kids, like you want to have some of that time where you can,
Absolutely.
not in the toy room, not in the playroom where all the toys are. That's chaos.
Yes.
So pick a cozy chair, a corner with soft lighting, or even just a no phone zone even, where you can fully relax. Make small changes that make your home feel more inviting to you, that make you feel good. Because if you feel relaxed and comfortable and not stressed, your friends and family are too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So your home should recharge you, not drain you. Yes. I think that's what we're trying to say. So our home is shaping our stress levels right now, for better or for worse. But the good news is you have control. So you don't need a full renovation to make your, your space work for you. Start with just one small change, a decluttered surface, or a plant in your workspace. And, for me, they all have to be fake plants, or they're not going to last very long.
Yes.
But some natural light or softer light will just, they can just really transform you in so many ways.
You're right. Your home should give you energy, not steal your energy. Yep. So just pick one thing from today's episode and try it out this week. Make a couple little changes and just see how amazing the difference can be with those small changes.
Your space should support the life you want, not stress you out. So our challenge to you, look around your home or even your office and see where you can make your space feel wonderful. And thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you next week. We bless you. Be brave and dream big.
Listeners, if you're aiming for financial freedom, dreaming of designing a life you absolutely love, or just curious about how real estate can transform your future, you're in the right place.
Yes, ladies, if that sounds like what you want, our masterclass is the key. It's easy to understand, super straightforward, and packed with all the secrets you need to start investing in real estate confidently and successfully. Why wait to build your dream future? Join us and let us make your dreams a stunning reality.
Just click the Masterclass link in the notes below.
And we can't wait to begin this journey with you.